And we're getting right into Western Kabuki. Welcome back to it. I am Whack Nicholson, as ever, joined by Caleb and Juniper. June, how are you?
Great. I'm excited to talk about my favorite music idol. I'm a Swiftie. Big fan. Big fan.
I don't like hearing that so early on. Caleb, how are you?
I come to this episode with bad news.
Yeah.
I have to announce that this will be my final episode of Western Kabuki. I am quitting. I had some talks with women, and I can't have my car broke down, and I have to replace it with a really old shitty Toyota Corolla. And I can't have an old Toyota Corolla and a podcast.
Right.
So, maybe I could stay on part-time if I was over 6 feet tall, but I just have too many red flags.
I get it, dude. It's the priorities. Yeah. That is too much ick. You're too right about that, sadly.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear it.
Sorry,
man.
guys.
You're a West Coaster too? That just adds another layer. Yeah.
And in order to talk about the Taylor Swift conspiracy theory, we brought on the exact perfect person for this. Her boyfriend, Travis Kelsey, is here with us to discuss it. Travis, how are you doing?
I'm doing very, very well. I think it's time to reveal that actually was a gimmick to bring in a new demographic into the NFL. So that was
working like
true.
gangbusters. We are, of course, joined by from the QAnon Anonymous podcast, Travis View. Thank you for joining us, Travis.
Yes, Whack. Thank you so much for having me on.
We are talking about the Taylor Swift conspiracy theory. Travis, I will ask you first. Did you have any familiarity with the notion that Taylor Swift is secretly queer?
No, not until you mentioned this particular topic to me. No, this was the first I've heard of it. So I'm very excited to learn just how deep into the rabbit hole some of the Swifties have gotten.
They are really on the other side.
Travis, I think you're going to find yourself right at home with that you cover.
I do. You know what? I did notice. Sometimes I notice Swifties doing some like weird numerology shit with like the announcements and stuff. Very disturbing.
Yes. And they have a certain level, because I have also been in the sort of Swiftie realm of YouTube and TikTok the past couple days. And they have like a particular way of talking. They have a particular sort of
got the Swiftie cadence going.
Yeah. I listened to, and I'm gonna shout them out later too, but I listened to a podcast called Folk Whores, which I wouldn't call them that. But one of Taylor Swift's albums is called Folklore, and their podcast art looks like the album cover or whatever. They have like close to 100 episodes, and they're like really just talking about Taylor Swift every week. And I listened to some of their stuff about Taylor, and a lot of people already know about this theory, but there's a idea out there that Taylor Swift is somehow secretly queer, and this is a conspiracy theory that exists within the Swiftie community, and many normal Swifties do not like the Taylor conspiracists.
So I hate to put her on blast, but shout out to my friend Caroline, who lets us use her Zoom every week, who also is a full-on Gaylor.
She is a Gaylor.
Yeah.
So she's going through it. She's going through it right now. Then I imagine, from what I saw, like
she's going to stop letting us use the Zoom if we. Should we announce, because we posted it on Twitter, but should we announce our positions before we start this? Like who believes in what here?
Yeah. Well.
Sure.
Yeah, because I've done this research, I do actually legitimately believe it is possible that Taylor Swift is queer.
Yeah.
I think this is, I'll say it's a theory that can't be dismissed out of hand. I mean, there's lots of instances of queer people who are in the, who are work in the entertainment industry who have had to hide that for career reasons. I think of Lance Bass from NSYNC. So, so it's not outside the realm of possibility, like a priori, but I have a feeling once we get into it, the evidence is going to be pretty thin.
Given everything else I've seen about like Taylor Swift. So if you've listened for a while, it'll probably be clear to me or to you guys that I don't really like listen to a lot of like pop music or like Taylor Swift or stuff like that. So like I don't really pay attention to Taylor Swift at all. And like about a year ago, or actually basically when she went on this like new tour, the Eras tour or whatever, it became really clear to me that if she wanted to command like an actual army, if she wanted to put together like a vigilante force, she absolutely could. Like that, she is like powerful.
Can, should, and must.
She should. She absolutely should.
Yeah.
No, she is powerful. She is like so famous right now.
You know that Bloomberg actually has just announced that they have a dedicated Taylor Swift reporter.
Yes, Jesus I did Christ. See that. That's like because insane.
She's like the economy of she's like the GDP of like a small country.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. It's like Death Clock.
She makes so much money.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, is this like comparable to like the Beatles, like Beatles mania back in like the 60s?
Well,
or
not even
that,
because they didn't like merchandise to this extent. I mean, I guess they kind of did. I mean, maybe it is similar. I really don't like her music, I guess, is one big difference between Taylor Swift and the Beatles. I think her music is bad. But yeah,
you just upset like a quarter of our audience, probably.
Yeah. I upset people all the time. I work with this guy who I found out like he's like a stan and like a really like he's always been like really nice to me, but I knew he had the capacity to be a little catty. And he got extremely gay at me when I said I don't care for her music. And he's like, wow, that is so funny. No, it's just really interesting that a woman, self-made. And I'm like, oh, okay.
He's right. He's right to say that to you, Rack.
You're a sexist.
Yeah, I was immediately put on blast.
Yeah. Well, we've had this debate before because I am in the pro Taylor category, unironically. So... We'll see.
And I am too, and primarily for how I outlined before. Like, if
the thing is, June, is you don't like Taylor. You're scared of Taylor. I think. It's like a reverence.
We can harness Taylor. The left can harness Taylor. If we infiltrate her ranks, we could establish. We can balkanize a part of the country. She can be the leader of a new socialist utopia. Like, her fans are loyal enough to pull it off. I believe like this could be the new like Russian Revolution. I truly believe
she is Lenin.
She is. She could be if we radicalize her. If we
use the Swifties to shut down every Cracker Barrel in America, we can bring this country to a grinding halt.
It can be beautiful. So I like her for that purpose, not because of her music. I've listened to like 2 of her songs.
So what I have here is just the opening question: is Taylor Swift queer? No, she's not. She's a heterosexual. She's a cis woman, and she primarily dates cis men. I'm pretty sure she's only ever dated cis men, but I looked into her history. There's like, she has like periods where she's supposedly single, where a lot of her fans claim that she was in a secret relationship with people. Mm-hmm. And
they've got receipts.
This is the thing, is that Taylor Swift, there's a lot of theories outside of the Gaylor theory about Taylor Swift that are like way more plausible and are likely 100% true. Like her being set up with Travis Kelce as a way to get the NFL to be more popular, or the like fake relationship she had with Harry Styles, if that was real or not real or whatever.
Do you have it in your itinerary to talk about the Travis Kelce stuff at all?
No, I didn't really get to it. So it didn't really come up.
Like what? I do wonder, just really quick before we go on, if it's not planned, what could you give Taylor Swift that she would like want or agree to like, oh yeah, sure, I'll date Travis Kelce secretly as this fake thing. Like, why would she do that? She's got more money than God. Like, what could she possibly like get out of
I
this?
think it's a brand deal. I think like she wants people to, she is also getting a new audience by people seeing her on their screen, and obviously a lot of football fans are finding her annoying, but not everybody
I like Taylor Swift, and every time there's a game on and she's in the box, it just bothers me. I don't know, and again, as somebody who like does not mind her at all, it is annoying. So I don't know.
I can see it as a cross promotion kind of opportunity. It's sort of the same reason. Like, didn't the NFL recently do a partnership with Toy Story in which they brought on?
God.
Yeah, the Toy Story game.
Yeah, they brought out the weird Toy Story game. So this is obvious.
That was so sick, dude.
Wait, what was this one? I don't know if I know what this is.
This is an attempt to bring in a new audience. So yeah, I can see how it might be mutually beneficial if she's just, if she's looking to bring her brand to a new level.
Yeah, June, check it out. Wax pulling it up now, but they did like this thing where you could watch the replay of the game in like Toy Story mode.
But they did it live. It wasn't a replay.
What?
Like, so it fucked up in the first like 3 minutes, and
it was really fucked up. But it was so sick. I would watch every game. Like, they should make a Toy Story football game, frankly.
Yeah, do not want to subscribe.
Wait, so how does this work? Is it like?
So it's the actual game that's playing, and they did like an AI like overlay on it. Yeah.
What the fuck?
And
that is insane.
The Jackson, a 5-yard penalty gives Atlanta a 3rd down. And
so they like playing like the real game.
Yeah,
it's nightmarish. Yeah. Anyway,
yeah, that's actually probably very, very bad for the health of millions of children in the United States. But hey, it did look very cool.
Yeah, so I have some pictures here that a lot of, if you just Google the term Gaylor theories, a lot of people will point to. We're going to talk about Carly Kloss. We're going to talk about Emily. We're going to talk about Selena Gomez a little bit. We are going to talk, I don't know how long we're going to talk about Diana. We could talk about Diana for a full hour.
That's what I was going to say. That of all of this and what I was reading, the Diana stuff was like the most. I just pulled
that slideshow you found with like 94 slides that just explains the whole theory. The last like 30 slides are just about Diana Agron. So
shout out to Allie from Discord for that, by the way. That's where, who I believe is one of the Gaylor truthers.
Yeah.
Solidarity.
So why do theories about Taylor Swift exist at all? Basically, my personal pet theory is that Taylor Swift, she got famous when she's 15. People say that like you are the age, you stay the age you are when you get famous. She has been famous since she was 15. She's a 34-year-old teenager. And she likes to hide messages in her music videos. This image I have right here is a picture of a phone case with the word lover on it from the You Need to Calm Down video. You Need to Calm Down came out before she had announced the album, and the title of the album turned out to be Lover. These are the kinds of hints that she drops. I'm going to go to the
proofs, if you will.
Proofs, yeah. So this is the Swiftopedia.
Swiftopedia. Oh my god, I love it. Oh god.
This is the Swiftopedia for the hidden messages in all of her song lyrics. From the first 5 albums, from Taylor Swift, Fearless, Speak Now, Red, and 1989. Each track from each of those albums has a section on the Swiftopedia about what hidden messages. Some of them are just like, won't admit that I wish you would come back. That's the hidden message for come in with the rain.
Wait, so by hidden messages, do they just mean like, are these just like lyrics? Is this
sometimes
just a lyric?
So sometimes, like but like the Tim McGraw hidden messages. So these are just like summaries of the lyrics, a lot of them, yes. But Tim McGraw specifically has a ton of like supposedly hidden messages, especially for Gaylors, but not just for Gaylors, kind of for all the Swifties.
Yeah, this is something that permeates all of like Taylor stan culture, is like the hidden theories. That's not
just No, you're right. I saw like a TikTok like 6 months ago. It was like before her current tour. It had to have been the current tour. It was announced, and some person on TikTok was just like going through like billboards. I don't know if anyone knows what I'm talking about, but there was like a video of like billboards, and she was like looking at like the location and like searching the cities that certain Taylor Swift billboards were located. And like I forget what the theory led up to, but it was just like, it was like a 6-minute video about like what these locations and like angles of these billboards for Taylor Swift meant. And I was just floored by it. I watched the whole video and I was just floored.
That was like, they sort of figured out she was announcing her tour secretly in like Instagram posts and billboards. And this is an article from the Today Show, how Taylor Swift turns a fandom into a scavenger hunt of clues. Like everything she does, the liner notes in her early CDs, they had capitalized. Oh, maybe that's what it is. Actually, yes. Okay, so this hidden messages, these are the hidden messages in all of the liner notes of her CDs. So if you go to the liner notes of A Place in This World, it will spell out "I found it" with the capitalized letters. She chooses to capitalize certain letters in the whole thing, and it's like the whole song ends up having its own little message. And now the site is crashing. That's not good. Anyway,
you got too close to the truth, dude.
I guess so.
They had to crash your browser.
So she does put something really fucked up my browser. She does put hidden
that
messages.
Family Guy Hulu ad.
It must have been. Motherfucker.
Well, I think at this point now you can realize why we brought Travis from QAA. Because I feel like
I can
Q took some clues here from what Taylor's been up to.
Yeah, I can see the parallels already because like you could Q encouraged people to like decode, all the weird cryptic Q drops, and this led to people like going way finding of things that just were not even meant, that Q didn't intend. And sometimes QAnon followers, they came up with that belief that JFK Jr. is secretly alive, is going to take down the cabal. That was Q repeatedly tried to squash that down because the QAnon followers, they were so far off track in trying to decode these things that they found things that just aren't there. And this is called illusory pattern perception. This is actually one of the greatest predictors of conspiracy belief.
So what was so I didn't pay too much attention to specifically what spawned the JFK Jr. like theory. What was like the inciting incident of people believing that? Because like a lot of people believe that, like it's not insignificant. Like you could go to like a Trump rally and meet like several people just like randomly who believed that was real, that JFK Jr. was like alive.
Yeah. It's a convergence of like many things. So one of them actually was the fact that like shortly after Q started posting, there was someone else on 8chan who went by the name R, and it was also a kind of like secret code drop thing. And the R implied that JFK Jr. was alive, and he was also going to reveal the truth about aliens and how the government had secret alien technology and all this stuff. And then Q had to come back and say that. And then someone actually specifically asked Q if R is legit. And then R said, no, there's no R, there's only Q. But the people wouldn't listen. They didn't believe it. They thought this was another trick. They thought this was purposeful disinformation. This is another weird thing where they thought that, well, no, even if Q says something that's wrong, that's actually purposeful. That's still part of the code. So Q was just totally unable to corral the QAnon followers to the narrative that it wanted because they are just interpreting things in wild ways.
Then there's also that guy who goes to rallies and like kind of pretends to be
Vincent Fusco.
Yeah. You're talking about Vincent Fusco. Vincent. He is an absolute king because
I love this guy so much, dude.
He is because he's a guy in his like 50s or 60s. He's a Italian guy from Pennsylvania. Does not look like JFK Jr. at all. Famously, not even close. But people kept thinking that like, oh my gosh, this must be JFK, and he's never said this, but he's also never corrected anyone. And what he does is that he sells these MAGA hats for like $40 whenever there are QAnon rallies, and then he also meets a lot of women through this act. I mean, you see pictures.
Oh, he is swimming in Brendussi. He's got every Brenda lined up.
He's like, there's so many. There's like, I have a collection of like pictures of him with all these MAGA milfs. He's got quite a scam going. Yeah,
and he's also gotten in one of those like insane vans too, like the Trump like if you saw the van, you'd like, oh, dude, the person who owns that is like mentally unwell. So
like they're gonna step out of that truck and pull out like a rifle and start going to town, like that kind of person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I couldn't remember his name. Vincent. I love that guy.
There used to be a subreddit of like they were called like MAGA mobiles or something like that, and it became a lot less funny when one of those guys committed a terrorist attack. And
oh shit! Yeah, that happened like a year ago now. Fuck. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so back to Taylor Swift. Which I will say, as for the answers of how things come about in QAnon, how things come about in the world of Taylor Swift, largely are the same frustrating miasma of mental illness. And people, Taylor Swift seems to be courting it on purpose.
She has liked multiple Gaylor videos on TikTok on her public likes. Like she knows what she's doing.
But she does this with like all sorts of things. She gives like hints. She'll wear like there was one part, I don't know if I pulled the clip from the video, but there's a part on her Instagram where she posts a picture and it has 7 palm trees. And the next day she posts another picture and it has 6 rubber duckies. And then she posts a selfie with like a fence, and the fence has 5 visible holes in the picture. And then she doesn't post anything for the next 3 days. And the fans are like, think it's a countdown and she's going to reveal something at the end. And then just nothing happens. And it's so good. It's like, this is part of being a Taylor Swift fan. And I don't really like, I don't understand Taylor Swift's aesthetic. I don't get the whole eras thing. I feel like there's no specific aesthetic. It's just like wear whatever. And then you can say like, oh, this is supposed to be like this album of Taylor's or whatever. Like, it doesn't really like have a cohesive vision to me, Taylor Swift's aesthetic. But like the fans have a language and have a way they interact that is it is very alienating if you don't know anything about it.
I hope we're gonna get to a point where there's like JFK Jr. like impersonator, like
the Vincent Fusco for the Swift. That's gonna be me, by the way. I just have to figure out how to do
this. Actually,
you can be like you could be the Travis Kelce or like any of her other. It's all the X's. It's all of her different X's just showing up to different shows. But it's
if
just like
any
you.
of her,
it's just you.
Any of her beards die, like I'm in. I'm gonna get plastic surgery.
Gonna claim you're Jake Gyllenhaal.
Dude, I look just like him.
So Carly Kloss and Kissgate is the place I wanted to start, because this is for a lot of, I watched a lot of the Gaylor content. They love saving this one for last because they feel like this one is the absolute like top tier proof that Taylor Swift
Grand Slam
is gay. It's that she dated actress and supermodel Carly Kloss. Now, first and foremost, this is Tumblr bullshit. It does not need to make sense. It is an internet conspiracy theory. And so we've got a blurry JPEG here with some arrows drawn on it. We have Carly Kloss and Taylor Swift attending a 1975 concert together before Taylor Swift reportedly dated the singer from the 1975. She was there with Carly Kloss, who was a friend of Taylor's for like a really long time. And then they weren't friends anymore. And this is in fudge. I didn't grab the year for Kissgate. I'm such a fraud.
We're gonna. Well,
this was recent. This was like this year. That was like within the last year.
Yes, it was within the last year, but I can't remember the exact date. And it does start to matter when these things take place, because there's
the
actually
dates matter. There's date drops.
Does, because there are like there's basically a shadow timeline. Like when Taylor was supposedly breaking up with Jake Gyllenhaal to date Harry Styles, I think.
Was one of the Kennedys I thought was after Harry.
Oh, really? I don't know. I really tried to get some of the finer details of Taylor Swift's life, but it is really hard to deal with the real stuff that actually happened to her and the stuff that people say about her.
But just real quick, like that photo where like they're supposedly kissing, like they could just like be like one of them could just be like shouting in their ear, like it's a concert. Like if you've ever been to a concert with someone and it like had to say something, like that's like what you do is like you grab their head and like yell in their ear as close as possible.
So
like
I will say
like,
Taylor is a very touchy person. Just from looking at pictures, she is always very close to people. I'll actually go back. You can see a picture of her and Carly together here where Taylor's wearing that bluish dress. She's like on top of her. They're like embracing, just watching like something together. And I don't know. A lot of people think that they were dating. This was 2 years ago because this is around the time Taylor Swift and Katy Perry were feuding, and
it was a dark time for me.
Karlie Kloss was in the Taylor Swift music video, but then was photographed at a nightclub with Katy Perry. And then she wasn't seen. Karlie Kloss was not seen again with Taylor Swift. And then Jennifer Lawrence was in an interview and mentioned that she wanted to know what was going on between Taylor Swift and Karlie Kloss. And then Karlie Kloss gave a statement to TMZ saying that she and Taylor were still good friends. Can
I be honest really quick?
Yeah, please.
Can I be honest?
Need some Tylenol?
Yeah, holy fuck. Like pop star like culture is so insane to me. Like there's just like a whole world of like drama and like fascination about like people's personal lives in this way that just like it's so weird to me. I don't know. I just can't imagine.
So this is
waking up in the day and like checking like celebrity gossip news. I just don't believe it. I just can't believe it.
This is why a lot of the Swifties, the Gaylors, like to reveal this part last, because they just assume you know who Karlie Kloss is and you know what happened between Taylor Swift and Katy Perry and all this different stuff. So this image is basically the proof that everybody needs. There's also this lyric where she says something about dancing with our hands tied. They say that's about Carly. That's about her faking not being gay. And that's it. But there are actually a lot of other more confusing theories. Caleb, did you, because I know you've been doing some research. Did you get into Grammygate at all?
Very little. I spent most of my, honestly, at least today anyway, most of my time was spent doing 4chan research.
Oh yeah, the other secret theory
which will be fun. Yeah,
that Taylor Swift is secretly a
yeah. We've got Gaylor daughter and
4chan B.
Yeah, 4chan B son.
Yeah. So Taylor Swift, I like pulled what somebody else said about it on Tumblr. A lot of this stuff is going to come from Tumblr. That should tell you a lot about the trustability of any of this stuff. So Taylor Swift won Best Album in 2021 for her album Folklore, or Folklore Evermore as like a double album. I don't remember. After it won, people speculated that her boyfriend and she were having trouble. She was dating this guy, Joe Alwyn, who's like an actor. He's a British actor. And she was dating him. He didn't attend the Grammys the night she won, but this is during the pandemic, and I think the Grammys were like mostly hybrid.
Dudes rock, by the way.
Yeah, he didn't go, and then people were like, "Oh, are Joe Alwyn and Taylor Swift doing okay?" And then after the album wins the Grammy for Album of the Year, he gets credited under a different name, William Bowery, as a producer on the record. and therefore becomes a Grammy-winning record producer.
Dudes rock.
There's so many schemes here.
I love that.
Is this proof that Joe had a secret contract with the record company because he knew that she's gay and he was going to spill the beans if he didn't get credit for her music? I think so. I think that's probably
that's a reasonable conclusion to come to.
And why do so many Folklore and Evermore songs appear in lesbian scenes in Netflix shows? Did you guys ever think of that? It was in Euphoria.
Oh, no, it
was in Riverdale.
When companies come to her and like, can we use this like world famous like 10 million people listen to the song? Can we use it? She
personally
put it in a lesbian
scenes only.
Put it in a lesbian scene. Yep, that's one. That doesn't it is provable that they added him as a producer. We don't know why they did that. But that is one possibility, is that he used blackmail in order to get the producer credit on Folklore.
Okay, another thing, like Taylor Swift, like she's not like I feel like her like men audience is not that large. Like, what would her coming out as a lesbian do to her career? Like, it's like that would only make her like women fans more like her more, right? Like, I don't understand how this is supposed to harm her career, I guess, is my like confusion as to like why these theories even exist. Like, she should know she should just like come out as a lesbian. Like, that would just only be good for her.
She chose the NFL over being a lesbian. You can only have one.
But like, I can't imagine she's like gaining like this massive like male audience, right? Like, it cannot be that deep. There's no way. I choose not to believe. Yeah, you know what? I'm choosing not to believe.
Did you just change your opinion? Oh, we got to do the "It's Always Sunny" thing where we move you over to the other category.
Yeah, I think I am, because like, I don't know. I don't buy that she's a lesbian, if like, because it would only help her, I feel like.
Yeah, and another problem I have with this theory is that Taylor Swift probably has the most scrutinized personal life of anyone alive. Like
it's
I'm sure,
Chris Chan or Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I'm sure. like many people, she has like her assistants or whatever, people who surround her, who like leak information to places like TMZ, gossip sites, and I feel like it was like she'd have to be quite good at keeping her relationships extremely secret, even from the people that she's around all the time, as a consequence of like being a $1 billion brand. So I feel like very hard to believe that she could keep this secret, considering how thoroughly she's scrutinized.
Yeah, and people are able to find out so much with so little. Like, on my old alt account that's now been suspended, I once posted a picture of a room that I was I was just in this room at college, and there was a picture of a fridge with half of a magnet and a monster. And people on a doxing website, the Kiwi Farms, looked at that photo and determined where I like lived and went to college during that time based off of half of a fridge magnet and the release date of the specific energy drink can on the desk in the room. Like, people are able to do so much with so little. So the fact that they like can't figure out these people can't figure out that she's a lesbian is just crazy to me.
I am frankly shocked and astounded, June, that you would be so queerphobic, biphobic, homophobic.
I would love if she was a lesbian. I think that'd be really awesome.
I think it's really disgusting that you think that this wouldn't negatively affect her. You think that homophobia just doesn't exist anymore. You think that it can't be closeted because she's not comfortable being who she is. You think she's not. This is how fucking Swifties talk, bro.
This is Wax coworker talking, by the way.
This is
well, here's like my theory. Well, not theory, but here's like why I'm thinking that. Like, look at Boy Genius. Like they lean into like being like bi or lesbians, and people go nuts for that. You've seen the videos.
Boy Genius opened for Taylor Swift on the Eras tour.
Fuck. Oh, there's another. Okay, maybe that's just another clue. Maybe I'm coming back around.
Yep.
Maybe
there is a U-turn.
It was Boy Genius, and I think it was Courtney Barnett too, who I think is also a lesbian. So
shit.
Okay. Put me in the middle. I'm a centrist. I'm a centrist again.
Okay.
Now I'm starting to question.
Because Boy Genius, you know, they will like kiss each other on stage. Like everyone's seen that one clip.
They take their titties out and they make out on stage.
Yeah, it's like insane. Like, come on.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Okay, I'm a centrist.
Okay, so how about this? This is a very famous Taylor Swift Instagram post that you're looking at here.
The friendship bracelet.
I just captioned it the friendship bracelet because it's clear what has happened here. You guys can all see it. It's very obvious. If it hasn't been, if you can't see it now, I don't know what to tell you guys. Travis, what do you think of this this stone cold proof from the friendship bracelet?
Yeah, I mean, I see the word proud and fearless and lover and cat. But I gotta say that's really not enough for me to really make conclusions about her personal relationships, I have to say.
Sure. So June, can you tell me about the one that says proud? What colors are the beads?
Oh, I do see. Oh shit.
Oh shit. Uh-oh. What? Oh shit. No. What? Juniper? What?
It's the bisexual flag.
It is the bisexual flag.
It's the bisexual.
It is the bisexual flag.
See, I was gonna say like maybe she's just proud to be an American at first until you pointed out the colors of the beads. But okay, that's
she was a country singer.
But yeah,
that's kind of convincing.
The other problem with this is that, like, if this theory was true, she's not really proud. She's closeted.
It's also important that a big part of Taylor Swift fandom is the friendship bracelet. This fandom really infantilizes themselves, but they exchange friendship bracelets. So maybe a bisexual person gave her that bracelet. Which is what I would have assumed is the more possible thing that she's secretly hinting.
Because you're not supposed to wear like your own friendship bracelet.
That's what a friendship bracelet is. Yeah. One somebody else gives you.
Wear yeah, exactly. Okay.
But what if you're just manifesting getting a friend? It's normal. People do it.
It's like how people are like, oh yeah, everyone calls me like Stone Killer or something. It's like, who calls you that? It's like, well,
you could start.
You could, yeah.
All right, I pulled the lyrics here. I'm not even going to bother reading them.
They're in the slideshow.
Yeah, they're in the slideshow under lyrics. Dancing with Our Hands Tied was one. The song "Stay Beautiful," some people say, is about a woman, even though she says the name Corey in it and says he and him throughout.
The label made her do it.
Yeah, there's a demo of the song Tim McGraw where the lyrics are actually ambiguous, and I think they changed them because the lyrics are ambiguous. But she said there's the black dress draped across the chair next to my favorite pair of jeans. And it's like, it says like the black dress you always liked next to my favorite pair of jeans. And it makes it sound like maybe her partner was wearing the black dress. That was one part. And Emily Poe, who we're going to talk about here in a second. Emily Poe is a childhood friend of Taylor Swift that no longer speaks to Taylor Swift. And a lot of like lesbian gaylers have been like, look, I had really intense friendships that ended acrimoniously when I was young, and I realize now it's because I had romantic feelings for this girl and didn't know how to express them. And so a lot of people say that is what happened between Taylor and Emily. My opinion is that that's none of your fucking business. That's crazy.
Well, it's just like projecting like your own emotions on someone else. that you don't know, which is, yeah, it's something. I wouldn't do that personally.
Yeah. And Taylor's when Taylor reclaimed her masters, when she started making the Taylor's Versions albums, the first one she did was Fearless. And a lot of the fans were like, why did she do Fearless? Why didn't she do the self-titled album first? Because that was her first album. But a lot of fans have speculated that Fearless was written about Emily and about how much she loved Emily. And she did Fearless instead of her debut album because she wanted to make a statement that she's gay. And the studios who held her masters forced her to, quote unquote, fire the love of her life. So she put that record out so that she could hint to the fans about her sexuality.
I mean, this is just taking some basic facts and then making up a story about why it happened.
Yeah. That is like what is this conspiracy like brain? Like that this is like, it manifests with Taylor Swift, it manifests with like QAnon, but like what causes this? Like what is it about these like this filling in the blank of just basic facts with this like story? I don't understand. Is it like a phenomena?
I mean, you ask, that's a huge question. I mean, there are like lots of like psychosocial reasons. I mean, one of the biggest things that sort of correlated with conspiratorial thinking is a feeling of powerlessness. They've done studies is that the less autonomy you feel like you have over your own life, the more you are prone to conspiracist thinking. And sometimes I think that like with this and with the John Locke conspiracy, I guess we'll talk a little bit later. But there's often this desire for better queer representation, this frustration that as you can't really live as authentically as you would want to because of like the society is still rigged against still basically heteronormative. And so there's a very sensible desire for better queer representation in pop culture, and who could deliver that than Taylor Swift. So I feel like this is, if I had to guess, this is where this sort of desire is coming from.
I think it's funny because it's like reverse queer baiting in a way. Like people are begging to be queer baited.
Yes.
Which we don't normally see. Yeah.
I think that part of it too, that can't be like overlooked, is that Taylor Swift she's putting out clues to secret messages already. And Q said, this is secret messages. You need to decode these things. It's like, there is an element of like, they are asking you to do this. Like Taylor Swift is bringing this upon herself. She is this.
I mean, it's just like, I don't know if you guys paid attention to, but like during like when Death Grips kind of came on the scene with their, I think, second album, they would drop clues on like 4chan, and people would like find these like geolocations and go find like these actual drop-offs that the band made. So like, like it's a real thing, I guess, that bands have been doing for a while too.
Yeah. And I want to talk about some of her relationships. I'm just going to highlight the Diana Agron one specifically, but I want to go through a couple of the other ones. But before we do that, I did want to talk about the Taylor Swift 4chan theory, since that is, I think, part of Taylor's deal is that she like has played into the rumor that she is like a poster on 4chan's B board.
And this is so funny because I came across this. I guess you guys knew about this already, but the day after we decided to talk about the Gaylor topic, I came across this theory like just on my timeline.
That image you sent us, just encapsulates it perfectly. It has all the different proofs and everything you need.
Yeah.
Well, I have some bad news for you guys, because unfortunately about half of those are bullshit that I was able to.
No.
Yeah. So I'll say this. I believe that it's not, I mean, come on, this is really not that hard she's a 34-year-old woman that around when she was younger, she screwed around on 4chan. That's not like an insane thing to believe, or that for her to have done. Having said that, some of the stuff, like for instance, the one of her with some guy at the suit, I'm here with Taylor's, the B thread from there. That was actually, picture from a wedding that she had attended the year before. That one is bullshit. The one where she apparently named her cat Meredith based off of a 4chan thread was also bullshit. That was either fabricated or just the timeline didn't add up. The one that I think is the most convincing was the one where there's a screenshot that we posted on our Twitter. You can see it there, where it's there. Taylor Swift had tweeted on her account back in like 2013 or something like that. It was like nothing quite like a freezing cold wintry beach, and then there was a photo of her like on a beach, and there on 4chan somebody had posted "Sup B, nothing quite like a freezing cold wintry beach." Also rule number 1, which in 4chan parlance is there are no girls on the internet. Also at a beach with similar cloud patterns, and the EXIF data shows that it was taken the same day before the timeline of the Twitter post. Now that could have been falsified. We don't know. It's really easy to do that, but it's again really not that crazy to think that she has been on 4chan, has posted on there. Now, if you go into the Swiftie community, whether it's the Gaylor section or not, I think there's a lot of pushback on this because they don't like the association, obviously, with 4chan, because it's a horrible place with horrible things that are posted. And then in one of the posts allegedly by Taylor, she says that she's a conservative, but this, when you consider she, is the daughter of an investment banker and started as a country music singer, for her to have at that point said that she was a conservative, it would be more surprising if she wasn't at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and that kind of reminded me back, I think it was in either 2016 or 2020. Do you remember those people online, those like conservatives that were theorizing about how it probably came from this 4chan stuff where they thought that she
secretly
was like
a Republican.
Well, yeah, they thought, I mean,
like MAGA,
a lot of
like
4chan guys thought she was like secretly a Nazi, and they thought part of that theory was also that like a lot of the guys on B were like, she's our Aryan princess, and we love her, and then Taylor Swift eventually came out, not right away, which I think is kind of weird, but she eventually came out and was like, I am not like a Nazi.
Just to be clear, can't say that soon enough, Taylor. That's there's that's why we learn a little bit from her dating, as Aaron Rodgers called him, Captain Pfizer, Travis Kelce.
Yes,
it's Taylor's commitment to the woke agenda. Yeah.
And he was drinking a Bud Light, if you saw that. Definitely time to be a normal guy over at the right wing guys. But yeah, so a few of the as Taylor Swift has had public relationships with people who are famous and like not very famous, there is a shadow timeline that this slideshow that we have. We're gonna have to link to this slideshow, I think, too. If you guys, if the listener wants to really get into like every single lyric from every single Taylor Swift song for like her first 6 albums, you can definitely go through and do that. But I'm going to save you guys a little bit of time and talk first about Tamely. This is Taylor and Emily Poe. Emily Poe is a childhood friend. I just want to play this one clip.
Wait, what'd you call it? Say it again.
Tamely. Is that not how you would pronounce it? Tamely.
Yeah. Just needed that for the listeners at home.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's just great. Keep going.
Yeah, so this has like MySpace blog posts are involved here. A lot of MySpace blog posts, as you guys can see, videos that have been scrubbed from the internet, images that were posted to MySpace before Taylor was really famous. So this is a video from the Whiskey A Go Go from 2006.
Oh, I remember this. Okay, yeah.
So this is one of the proofs for Gaylor that prove that Taylor Swift was in love with Emily and dating her in 2006.
I'm going to introduce you to these people up here with me. This over here, give it up for Todd on guitar. Ladies, Todd is single. Oh, I know. This is Emily over here on fiddle. Now, Emily has a boyfriend, but she has agreed that what happens in LA stays there.
Mm-hmm. So to me, that sounds more like she was into Todd than Emily.
Yes.
Believe me, I know what she says.
But but they only clip the part where she says what happens in LA stays in LA.
Yeah.
And then they will just take that and then post pictures of Taylor and Emily together in LA. And they're like, this is proof. There are like a bunch of other videos. Taylor and Emily, they go way back. Here are a bunch of images of them eating like corn on the cob and shit together.
As all girlfriends do, they just eat corn on the cob. What the fuck does that mean?
And yeah, everything here is from unknown dates. Disclaimer, they have more photos. I picked the ones that gave out louder queer vibes, and it's just like them together. This is the infamous gay Texan.
Nothing says lesbians like corn on the cob.
This is the infamous gay Texan image in which Taylor appears to be snuggling with Emily as they point to the word gay.
That's one more point in the 4chan column, frankly.
And it's captioned here, no explanation needed. This image is basically enough for most people to think that Taylor Swift is a lesbian.
I will say this is like more than the other photos, than the corn on the cob and like just like, you know, all that sort of like stuff that you just do. And granted, like this is just like normal. Like who hasn't done like a silly like gag like this? Like I don't know.
Who didn't stand in front of the word gay and point at it in a photo in 2006?
Gay was like one of the coolest things you could like say. Everyone said gay. Everyone insulted each other as gay. That's like just what you did.
Yeah. There's this other video. Oh, this video, actually, I did like this video. This is a video that Taylor Swift made for Emily. That's like a fan cam for Emily. And it uses the Dashboard Confessional song about being in love with somebody. And so this is also...
I was wondering why that sounded familiar. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's a 4.5 minute video that just is all pictures of Emily and Taylor together.
Yeah, actually, she's gay. I switched. I'm on Team Gay now. The Dashboard video got me. That's not something you do for a friend.
Yeah, that's like, especially in like 2006. Do you know how much effort it took to like make a video, like a YouTube video in 2006?
That's true.
Well, look at all the people she got for it, though. That was like Brad Paisley. There were like famous people in the video holding signs that say, I love Emily. So Taylor Swift was like pulling strings to make this birthday gift. I don't fully recognize all of these people, but I think a lot of them are famous.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think this is
Shit. This is more convincing to me than the Diana stuff. Holy fuck, how did I miss this?
Same.
The Diana stuff is nuts, and we're about to get to that. I just wanted to cover Emily and stuff that happened in there. This is the pop-up video that is also being used as proof. Just you get proof wherever it comes from, because apparently some of these songs were said to be about
Hang on,
Emily.
before we move on, Travis, you've been the voice of reason so far. Am I crazy for switching columns over the Dashboard video?
I mean, it's not enough for me. I'll say that. I feel like
you're not.
They're not. I mean,
they're
not just. I mean, they're not just longtime friends. They're also, performing together, essentially business partners. So I don't think it's out of the line for that to be a perfectly friendly video to make about someone.
Yeah, I just kind of feel like in 2006, if I gave somebody media that included Dashboard Confessional, I probably would have gone to prison for them.
So there's a bunch of stuff about Fearless. Fearless is sort of its own thing where people think she made the album Fearless in order to express her gayness. They think the Romeo and Juliet song is to express being gay, which is awesome. But we're gonna talk about Taylor Swift and Diana Agron. Now there are some other. I can show you guys this little thing here. Actually, I'm gonna put this one close to the last. There are some other ones. Some blurry pictures. There's the Tamely Master Post. If you guys want to go to Tumblr and see everything that breaks down the Taylor and Emily relationship from start to finish. I
love with theories like this. It's like we got to go to Tumblr. Like it's not even like we're going to Wikipedia.
For Tumblr with the Diana stuff in particular, the Tumblr stuff plays a pretty pivotal role.
Yeah. This is pins on her jacket that they kind of hint at could have been a thing. I have just a few other theories there, but let's talk a little bit about Diana Agron. Diana was in Glee. She's an actress.
So she's gay. Okay.
Yes, she played the mean blonde cheerleader from Glee. She was speculated to have been in a relationship with Lea Michele, who played the main character. And a lot of people thought they were together. Here are some introductory, what do they call it? Taylogron? Something like that, right? Well, is it Swift?
Taylogron. I think that's
Swiftgron.
There's Swift. Okay.
Swift.
Taylogron is better.
I think so.
Personally.
So here are images contemporaneously in which Taylor Swift is wearing outfits from what appear to be the Glee set. Around the time Glee was on TV.
Interesting.
That's strange, I think.
If it was just like one outfit, that would be like
that's multiple.
Okay,
we're looking at multiple outfits, folks.
Yeah.
Their first official meeting, September 4th, 2011, at a Fairfax flea market. I can't
if you
really
can't find
read
love at a Fairfax flea market. I don't know where you can find it.
I can't really read everything that happens here because there's too much.
You're in the other slideshow. Yeah, this one is.
Yeah, this is. I'm in the real Gaylor slideshow.
You're in the mine. Yeah. You're mine. Yeah. This
so
is the real shit.
I don't want to like read every single thing, but they have it broken down by like times when tweets were sent at a certain point and times when Tumblr things were edited. But
frankly, we could do like a 4-part episode on just Diana. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah.
We would have to. If we did that, we would have to pivot to being
we're
like
not
a full-time
Gaylor.
Well, you guys do what you want. This is my last episode.
So, beginning of March 2012, Diana is spending time with Taylor's two best friends and is in a good mood, according to Twitter. On March 18th, 2012, Taylor's Speak Now tour ends, and Swiftgron seems inseparable after that. So after Taylor gets off a tour, Diana Agron and Taylor Swift are together a lot. Dates here on March 25th, the Hunger Games movie came out and it rained all day in LA. There's a lyric. I can't this is
someone spent like probably 200 hours putting this together.
Yeah.
This was like someone's year project.
Yeah, go back to the last one because there's this one about the weather report. So it mentions March 25th, 2012, and this says it rained all day. It rarely rains in LA. Possible inspiration for the lyrics, all I know is pouring rain. Everything has changed. I personally doubt it, since Blondie has also liked to use rain metaphors in her songs. Taylor also follows Diana back on Twitter around this date. This is really intense stuff.
So that's March 25th. The net
is this starting to feel a little more familiar to you, Travis?
Yeah. It reminds me of some of my research on 8chan, definitely.
There are no coincidences. Patriots in control. That slide covered March 12th to March 25th. This one covers March 30th to April 12th of that same year, of the different various tweets that Diana Agron made, the various Tumblr posts that Taylor Swift faved. On April 7th, Taylor and Diana and their friends are seated at NYC, although Taylor has no work-related reasons to be in NYC at the time she was based in LA. There's a wedding.
Why would anyone ever go to New York?
Yeah. Why would Taylor Swift? What possible use could Taylor Swift have to be in New York City in April? April 23rd, 2012, Diana posts a set of tweets about being in London and her phone is not working. And then on the 24th, Taylor is spotted shopping in Victoria's Secret and Anon in the L chat.
L chat? This just is 4chan. What is happening?
I don't know. Tips off that Swiftgron content is coming. And then the next day, the girls are dressed up for Shirley MacLaine's birthday. So they were both in London for Shirley MacLaine's birthday. That doesn't tell me that they were dating because they both appear to be in the wedding. So, and I'm not totally sure who Shirley MacLaine is. So, yeah.
What I'm getting from this is I desperately need to meet the person who put this PowerPoint together. I need to understand their mind.
I hope it's the lady who ran the Swift fan account that went to prison for not joining the IDF. I hope that's who made this.
Oh, hell yeah. So, okay, I respect that person. So if this was that person, I would love to meet them.
So wait, this is Diana's guest, but they must mean Shirley MacLaine's guests. So that doesn't make any sense. Wait, what the fuck is this? What are they talking about? I don't know. Oh, they mean like guests at her house, not like a guest book at a thing? I don't know. There's circles on JPEGs. There are words highlighted. You guys know the
green
deal.
Lines. There's green lines everywhere.
This is slide 73. Now we're into July. Now we're into September, November. Slide
73 of 94, I believe.
Yeah.
So what's
the rest of this is about Swift and Diana.
What's like the silver bullet of this theory? Like what's like their like what do you call that? The holy grail piece of evidence that should
Kissgate is the thing for a lot of them.
Okay.
Kissgate and her relationship with Karlie Kloss is like the strongest bit of evidence for most people. But now we're into the following year in this slideshow, and you can see we're still highlighting. We're still looking at screenshots of Google searches. We're still seeing text messages from Taylor Swift's brother to prove that Diana Agron and Taylor Swift were in a romantic relationship for this time.
So for me, June, to answer your question, there was some back and forth vague posting, including on Tumblr, where Diana first deleted her Tumblr where she was vague posting about Taylor. Then she was found out to have operated a second anonymous Tumblr that was posting about Taylor in vague terms that she also ended up deleting. So if you go to tumblr.com/SwiftGron master post, you can find all that information.
Yes, I think I had a link to that in one of the things as well. So here on July 2nd, 2013, this is the 1-year anniversary of the Hyannisport trip that they both reportedly took. And Diana makes a post on her secret private Tumblr that says, "How do you move on from something that never happened? Maybe because SwiftGron wasn't out, so technically it did not exist. This seems pretty loud."
Well, it's because this was because she wrote this has to do with a song lyric, and I can't remember which one, about Taylor Swift talking. Oh, it was when she was at a show, and somebody asked her to play her song "Haunted," and before she started playing it, she said something like, "There are different kinds of ghosts. There are spirits, but then there's also like people that are still walking around that kind of haunt your memory," or something like that. And then immediately after that is when Diana made this post, and I am ashamed that I know that information.
That's it for the main feed episode. You can follow Travis View on Twitter, Blue Sky at Travis View. You can also check out his podcast, QAnon Anonymous, which is great. We're all big fans. You should do that. You should subscribe to their Patreon, too. Speaking of Patreon, there is more Western Kabuki on our Patreon, patreon.com/Western Kabuki. This week, we talk more about Gaylor with Travis View, and then there's an interview between Caleb and Mike Bong, the guy on Twitter who makes bongs out of weird shit, like video game controllers and stuff. Again, that's patreon.com/Western Kabuki. Check it out. All right, thanks.